Hello, everybody. This is Noah and John, and we are from UrbanDigs, and it is Monday, so you're going to get your Brooklyn weekly market update. John, let's get right to it. I'm looking at Brooklyn supply 24.25. Show me that chart.
Well, no, that is another tick up in the right direction, 1.7%, I guess, supposed from the week before. Still, supply is just absolutely lagging behind. I mean, last year at this time, we were well over 3,000. Well, crossing the 3,000 mark. Now we're well below it. So it's got a long way to go here.
Yeah, shocking news. It's just underwhelming on the supply front. But I mean, it is what it is, and this is kind of the sentiment for this spring season. Let's go over to Brooklyn demand. Pending sales 3,334. Johnny, show me that chart.
And yet again, it's another uptick, surprise, surprise, in pending sales. So if supply is just, every week is below where we were last year, on pending sales, it's the opposite story. Every week is above where we were last year. And so another 4% added to the mark this month, this week. And it's just on its way up here, Noah.
Yeah, and as a result, the market pulse is definitely staying up there at 1.37. That supply, that is going to be listings that are updated by brokers. Everyone should know that. So if there's stale listings out there, which we know that are not being updated, they'll be excluded from that measure. We're going to be revisiting that at some point. We'll get into that at a later time. But let's go to the weeklies right now. I want to go to Brooklyn weeklies and see what's happening. I see 269 Brooklyn things came on last week. That looks like it's a nice bump up, though, Johnny. Show me the chart.
That is a nice bump up compared to roughly 200 a week ago. So it's like almost a 30% bump, but it's still below where you want to see it. So it's a step in the right direction, but certainly Brooklyn at this point needs a lot more. Yeah,
I feel like we're running out of time. I mean, we got like 6-7 weeks until you're in May. And once you're in May, then now you start thinking we're close to June. And when you're in June, it's like, all right, we're already in the summer lull. It just comes on quick. So, now's the time where we need to see this sustainably up higher. Like you're right, it's in the right direction, but it's not where we need to be. Let's go to Brooklyn contract signed. That's going the same direction, 210. Wow. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah, so 210. So yes, weekly supply is on its way up, but look at contract signs up 210. That's a differential between the two of, almost 60. Then you start factoring in off market, which is running close to 100. I mean, you're still at a net negative in terms of the number of listings coming on from a buyer's standpoint on a weekly basis, Noah. So Brooklyn remains in demand.
Yeah, frisky. It's a frisky market. Let's go take a look at the frisky. Yeah, contract signed. Let's take a look at Brooklyn monthly contract signed by price point. This is what that chart looks like. I mean, it's flat. Oh, I'm sorry about that. It's flat. Like, I mean, you take a look at the last couple of months, it's kind of flat. And you can see it went down over here. We had the rubber band effect up here, and now we're down over here. But you draw this line across, John, and we're still at a kind of an elevated level. And this is why we're saying is that inventory is tight and demand remains elevated.
Yeah, I mean, there's just, you look at this chart and you see the last few months are just more or less straight, and you gotta understand that that's just a tremendous amount of support for the bid in Brooklyn right now.
Yeah, and considering the tight inventory, it's almost like when you have tight inventory, that is a constraint on contract activity in some way, shape, or form. When there's just, and you got to think that inventory that's out there, what percentage of that inventory is stale and what percent of that inventory is fresh? It's very possible that the fresh stuff is only a small slice of that. You take a look at Brooklyn dollar volume. We take a look at all those contracts, look at the total dollar volume. We add them up, still elevated. Still elevated,
especially in the luxury sector. I mean, if you go back and you look at the differential between, say, the yellow and the green line, that's like the luxury lines. And just now that you're looking at the dollar value, look how much higher that green line is than the yellow line. So there's a lot of money flowing into Brooklyn, and it's flowing into the luxury properties, similar as it is in Manhattan.
Yeah, I love following this dollar flow. It's a great chart there, Johnny. And finally, we want to give you this is data overload for Brooklyn today, but you guys asked for it, so we're giving it to you. We want to give you a quick rental market update. Of course, this rental data we got, this is basically a Brooklyn MLS revenue RLS listings. We're looking at last rental prices here when we're looking at that. But the main story, if I could summarize this really quick, is that I see almost record prices. We're coming back here looking at this at the highest levels, and activity is just low, very low activity. So it looks like whatever's coming on is just getting gobbled up, kind of a thing.
Yeah, we're taking an early look at what the rents coming on in Brooklyn are shaping up for March. It's 3,200. That basically ties the pandemic high, like right as things were sort of out of whack. So that's a little bit a little bit freaky. But if you step back a little bit and you see how that activity is drawn down, and you look at the last time that activity drew down, sort of the pandemic, and once you see that supply start coming in, that's going to hopefully ease off prices. So my crystal ball here, Noah, says that I think prices in Brooklyn might be at their highs, assuming supply comes onto the market. I mean, look, if no supply comes back on, all bets are off, but it seems like we might be seeing high prices right now, and they might be modulating into the summer.
Interesting. And let's also just talk about the fact that there are some macro things going on. There's some macro things going on. There's things going on in the equity markets. There's things going on in geopolitical world kind of thing. So we don't know if there's an effect going on right now. I'm getting asked this a lot. Everyone's asking me, is the bid being affected? I don't see it that quickly. I don't see anything yet. And it's just too soon to tell. You can't see it in a week. But we're keeping an eye out for it, and we're trying to think of ways that we can dissect this data to show you if things are changing. But when I look at that dashboard right now and I see the contract activity, no, it's not changing yet. So anyway, John, welcome. Thank you so much for pulling up all that data. I am Noah Roosevelt. We are both from UrbanDigs. If you guys got questions, we got answers, visit our forum right down here. If you want any of the reports in today's episode, you can find them right over here. Other than that, this has been your Brooklyn Weekly Market Update. We'll catch you next time.